guys, we got Carl down here today.
How you doing?
How you doing? Now, Carl is a YouTuber, and he loves to modify guitars in his spare time.
That I do.
He brought in a guitar for us to look at today that he has done a lot of work to. So, tell us all about this thing, Carl.
Well, I was wanting to get a guitar that was a lot like Sammy Hagar's from the 5150 tour.
Nice.
And I saw that of course, they had the regular Kramers that had the full floating system, but they were a bit out of my budget. But I did like this is a Barretta Special instead of just the Barretta.
Okay.
But it does have the tilted humbucker to line up with the strings better. So that was kind of the style that they had. He and Eddie both had in that tour.
Yeah, where the pickup is angled this direction.
Yeah,
that is such a good look.
Yeah, that, and if you look at it, they actually line up a bit better for the strings. So it's going to give you a little bit better resonance.
That's why Eddie did that.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what
I think Eddie Van Halen's responsible for that tilt.
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
they totally stole it from him. Or actually, he was having them build guitars for him at the time. And yeah, they totally took it from him. So I wanted the single pickup. I was thinking about doing a whole bunch of different things, but back when I was in a band, I actually had a bass guitar that I took and did a graphic or got a graphic and put it on there, much like this one, the same thing, which this is, anybody that is really into Spider-Man knows that this is actually the Scarlet Spider. So that bass that I had this same type of graphic on it, almost the exact same look, everything. So I wanted to have another one of those because it was kind of nostalgic to me and to my music. And one of those videos is actually on my YouTube channel. One of the songs that I played that Spidey bass on. So I went ahead and got the graphic. And started to put it on, and it wasn't fitting quite like I wanted it to, so I actually went ahead and cut it out, and then decided to do the stripes like Eddie Van Halen's guitar, his Whitey guitar, and match it up. If you can see, it's matched up with the webs coming out from the graphic. So it worked out really, really well. I really like how that whole thing came out.
Right.
I also went with a Super V trem set.
Okay, I want to hear about this trem in here because I've never seen one of these.
Yeah, so the way it works is you can see it's for a regular six screw trem.
Right.
It only uses 4 screws, but when you go, what they did was they put a piece of flexible metal there, and when you pull it up, it actually flexes on the metal rather than trying to bend over those screws.
Oh, wow.
So as you can see, they all come up in nice unison form, so you don't lose tune. And when you do your bends, if you're bending while you're doing the trem, it stays in tune as you're doing the bends up.
And what was the name of this?
Super V is the
Super V
is the name of the company that puts out the trem.
And how much, if you don't mind me asking, how much is the cost of a Super V trem?
That one actually was $170.
Okay.
And then I paid the extra. They charge you an extra $10 or $8, and I got the adjustable locking system for the actual arm. So it's, as you can tell, it's nice and stable in there.
Okay.
And you can adjust it to go deeper into the body or come out. So if you depending on how deep you want your arm or how close up to your hand you want it, you can actually set that full thing up. So with a adjustment screw that's on the bottom now. So, and then it just goes in just like any old, Strat style arm, but it's nice and tight, so you don't have one of the things I love Eddie, but he always had that flopping trim.
Right.
Starting to play guitar, I just was getting in my way or flopping.
I gotcha.
So I went ahead and went away from that. Then I got a Dragonfire.
What was the cost of this thing?
That was only $39.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
eBay or
No, straight from them.
Okay.
Yeah, I go straight to their website. That's a second Dragonfire. I put a set of their classic pickups into my Firefly 338.
Okay.
And I put a set of their classic pickups into that because I didn't love the guitar, but I didn't really like the pickup sound.
I like the color. It's got a good color to it.
And they have, the great thing is you can get whatever color you want. They will send you whatever color you want. So it's really cool. And I wanted the red and black to go with the costume. But
Dragonfire pickups.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put a link in the
pickups.
description down below for you guys.
All right. So yeah, we just wanted to check this out. And as you can see, the Dragonfire Screamer ohms out at 16.45 ohms. So that is a hot
one.
pickup. So then if you push this button,
Okay, because you got a coil tap.
because I did a coil tap.
split.
Yeah. And then it drops down to 8.4, almost directly half.
Very nice.
So it's a true coil split rather than some of them are coil taps, which only drops it down like I think a third or something like
Yeah,
that.
and 8.6 is still a pretty hot single coil.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, so it sounds great on single coil.
Okay.
So yeah, this pickup is pretty amazing, especially for the price. And if you're trying to get that brown sound, that was one of the things that Eddie always had, that Seymour Duncan of his that he uses.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's like $150, and this is as close as I could find without having to pay $150. So
Very good.
yeah. All right, so we went ahead and pulled the back plate off, and as you can see, I've got it completely shielded. I actually do have shielding on the trim system also, if you can see a little bit in there.
Again.
Yeah, so just to make sure I could get it as absolutely quiet as I possibly could.
Okay.
It's shielded under the pickup, but you can see that the shielding is completely done. Now, one of the big things you have to make sure you do when you do shielding, when you buy the tape, if you're going to do it this way, and I know like Phil McKnight always does it with the paint, which is probably easier.
Right.
But all I had the ability to get at the time was the copper tape.
It looks good.
Yeah, you have to make sure that the tape is using a conductive adhesive, and it says that when you go to buy it on eBay or on Amazon.
Okay.
So you just have to really make sure.
Conductive adhesive.
Conductive adhesive on the copper tape. Okay. And then, of course, you have to make sure that it overlaps. As you can see, this goes up to the top, and then my
Right,
cap.
so the whole thing is completely surrounded.
Exactly.
What's the pot that we're looking at?
So that pot is a 500 K pot that is made for the coil splitting. So your grounds go, of course, up on top, and then you just have to look at the diagram and make sure that you're putting everything where it needs to go. Now, if you haven't soldered before, this is not one you want to start out on.
Right.
Yeah, if you're going to start soldering, make sure that you're starting out on something that is, got a lot bigger leads and things like that, because these are very delicate. If you, keep the heat on too long, they're going to not work. Or they're not going to last as long, or they'll break. So you just want to make sure that all of your soldering joints and everything are really good. You can use an inexpensive soldering gun, but make sure you've watched videos on how those work, so that when you go to use them, that you're truly doing it the correct way, making sure you're cleaning your tips and get the best soldering joints you can.
What about your input or your output jack, rather? Anything different about that?
No, that was actually Kramer for this inexpensive guitar, sent like one of the best jacks I've ever seen on one of these types of guitars. It's super well built and put into the body, and as you can see on this side, it's super flush. It didn't need a big cap on the end. It's amazing, and I have had no issues with it. It's stayed tight the whole time, and it's just been a great input jack. So going up to the tuners here, you can see that I went ahead and installed a set of hip shot locking tuners. This was the first set that I had used. One of the nice things about them is, as you can see, they come with plates, so that when you go ahead and put the tuners down, you don't have to use the screws, so you can take your guitar right back to original if you want to. And they make sure that everything is perfectly straight along the tuner edge.
Nice. Makes an easy install.
Very easy install. That's the easiest part of this whole build was this. I mean, it took me like 7 minutes.
Right.
Just to get down. I didn't get all of those in. And then the other thing I always do is go ahead and use
steel wool.
Steel wool.
Okay.
Yeah, on the back, and that just makes it for a nice, smooth playability. A lot of people like satin. Some people like just the wood finish, but I do like to have it just smoothed out a bit. And,
I'm with you on that. That's nice.
And you don't catch on it, even if your hand starts to sweat a little bit, because it's not really a finish. It's just that it's been polished up. You don't get it all sticky. One other thing, let me just flip it over one last time. One last thing that I did do was I did go ahead and install a Graphtec nut. So, which makes all the difference in the tunability.
Let me ask you a few more things since we're talking prices. What was the cost of the hip shot tuners?
The hip shot tuners were $79.
Okay, and then the Graphtec nut?
Was $12.
$12.
Yeah, $12.
So altogether, with buying a Kramer guitar and altogether, how much you got into this thing then?
Wow. So the guitar retails for they've gone up. Every place I've seen them, but when I got it, they were $179.
Okay.
This was $170.
Right.
So that's what $340. Then 40 for we'll just round it up to 40 for the pickup, so that's $310, and then $12 for the
the potentiometer
potentiometer.
Right.
It was actually I did get the metal
that looks
knob
good
there,
on
which,
there.
yeah, that was another $12. The nut was $12, and then $80 for the tuner, so around $430 is what I have into it.
But the hobby and the time you spent modifying this and the enjoyment that you got out of it is priceless. It really honestly is.
Yeah. Oh, and the graphic, I can't remember the company I got it from, but the graphic was $35.
I got you.
Yeah. So and the pinstripes, I think $17 worth of pinstripes, and then the rest is all the screws and everything and stuff that you just have laying around because you build guitars.
Right. Carl, thank you for bringing this thing in.
Oh, anytime.
Can I play it for a minute?
Yeah, you betcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to have you play it.
Let's plug this thing in.
Because you're going to play it a lot better than I do.
I don't know about that. Okay, guys, so here it is. Thanks to Carl for bringing this thing in. Let's give it a little tiny listen here. I'm in my Hughes and Kettner, and it's in the clean channel. Push. So, okay, here it is down. Back up. Very glassy sounding. Turn it down a little bit, it'll clean up. love taking guitars and modding them. Again, here is the, so the pickup in this is the Dragon Force Screamer. And again, like you guys saw, it ohms out at 15 something. Very hot pickup. The bridge in this thing is the Super V Blade Runner. And if you get up here and look really close, you can actually see the piece of metal that it is attached to, and it's a really cool design. So I'm really impressed. What a fun guitar to mod. Thanks to Carl Hunt. You can check out his YouTube video. Look for Carl Hunt. And you know what's funny? He actually does have a brother named Mike. But there you guys go. Have fun with your guitars, guys. Everybody stay healthy. Everybody have a great day.